Pittsburgh Steelers star defensive lineman and captain Cam Hayward hopes 2025 is not the last season he and TJ Watt play together. Appearing on The Rich Eisen Show on Wednesday, Hayward talked about Watt's contract situation and how that is playing out. While Watt and Hayward do not discuss contracts directly with one another, the duo is close, and that bond is something Hayward hopes to maintain for the next few seasons. "We really don't talk about contracts, but that's my brother," Hayward said. "I want that dude to get paid what he deserves. That dude is one of the most fierce and best players in our league. He's respected throughout the league. I hope this year is not the last year we play together. Because that dude, that's my running mate. We create a lot of havoc together." Watt will turn 31 in October, making the sticking point of guaranteed money and contract length all the more notable. Myles Garrett's $40 million per year already sets a high bar for the Pittsburgh Steelers to meet when it comes to the next extension for Watt. Detroit's Aiden Hutchinson could top that number, driving the asking price for Watt's annual gross average and potentially guaranteed money up even more. The 30-year-old edge rusher remains one of the NFL's elites. At the annual league meetings in March, General Manager Omar Khan said the team hopes to see Watt finish his career with the Steelers. The Steelers' busy offseason included one last surprise to close the month of June, a trade for Jalen Ramsey. Ramsey is the headlining piece of the deal, but not the only part of it. In order to acquire the 7-time Pro Bowler, Pittsburgh had to give up safety Minkah Fitzpatrick in a swap that also brought tight end Jonnu Smith to the Steel City and involved an exchange of day 3 picks. Veteran Steelers defensive lineman Cameron Hayward rode a bit of an emotional roller coaster upon learning the details of the trade. "The way it came out, I thought we were bringing Jalen in for just a pick, and I was like, oh yeah, hell yeah. I love this," Hayward said during an appearance on The Rich Eisen Show. "And then I found out it's a trade with Minkah, and I'm like, damn, you're taking away a guy that has really meant a lot to our group. So I was a little bit bummed about it. But you look at what Jalen brings to the table, there's no shortage of talent there. Jalen is a ball-hawking DB that can play corner. He can play slot. He can play safety. His versatility makes him very, very great in our defense. Week in and week out, you look at him, and he's taking receivers out of the equation. I loved looking at those battles of him and DK Metcalf all those years ago. It's nice to have both of those guys on our sideline now, and now they can go out and wreak a lot of havoc on both sides of the ball." Pittsburgh paid a significant price in the form of Fitzpatrick, a 5-time Pro Bowler and frequent playmaker over the course of his 6 seasons spent with the Steelers, in order to acquire Ramsey. But the team also added a defender in Ramsey whose versatility was needed in the secondary and tossed another former Pro Bowler in Smith on top of the deal to sweeten its haul. It was the latest sign that the Steelers are all in on 2025, likely the only season they'll have with quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Although they lost a stalwart difference-maker in Fitzpatrick, they replaced him with a veteran talent in Ramsey, who should strengthen their secondary, gave offensive coordinator Arthur Smith a proven tight end to deploy in his offense, and continued to load up ahead of what will undoubtedly be an important campaign. Ramsey comes with slight concerns. He's known as somewhat of a mercurial individual who carries a high price tag, but in order to finally end their 8-year playoff victory drought, the Steelers need the emotional fire Ramsey brings to a defense. Hayward is prepared to accept Ramsey for who he is because he knows what he could do for their defense. "Just talking to Jalen so far, Jalen just wants to play ball. Jalen wants a chance to compete at the highest level," Hayward said. "We're going to do whatever we can to foster that. We're going to put him in the right situations. Sometimes coaches kind of run from those situations and say, man, that guy can be a headache. It doesn't matter if a guy is a headache, we can still win with a guy and he can be a part of it and be a positive contributor. I think sometimes you've got to welcome what all a player brings because that's what makes a good team. It's not like all good teams never have headaches or all good teams never have players that are different. Man, you've got to let players be the players, go out there, and try to mesh as a team." On paper, the Steelers have improved their standing. They've added Rodgers, Smith, receiver DK Metcalf, traded away an occasional headache in George Pickens, swapped Fitzpatrick for Ramsey, and have reason to feel encouraged entering 2025. One essential piece, however, isn't guaranteed to be part of the equation. TJ Watt is entering the final year of his deal and hasn't yet received the raise his counterparts have accepted elsewhere, resulting in what has become a prolonged contract dispute between future Hall of Famer and club. Hayward knows how important Watt is to the Steelers' chances in 2025 and is hoping that continues. "Man, that's my brother. I want that dude to get paid what he deserves," Hayward said of Watt. "That dude is one of the most fierce and best players in our league, and he's respected throughout the league. I've had the best time being able to play with him, and I hope this year is not the last time we play together because that dude, that's my running mate. We've created a lot of havoc together, and I just want to see that guy continue to be a Pittsburgh Steeler and be a one-helmet guy." With Watt's contract situation unresolved, trade speculation has unsurprisingly gained steam. Hayward, however, refuses to accept such an outcome. "I'm going up to Steelers general manager, Omar Khan, and I'm telling him that's not happening," Hayward said. "If there's even a trade that gets up there, I don't think it helps our team to trade a guy like that." This offseason, Pittsburgh has proven it's not afraid to pick up the phone and field offers. While it might not make logical sense to trade Watt, it remains a possibility, even if it would contradict everything else the Steelers accomplished while gearing up for 2025. With new faces filling out a roster built to win now, Hayward knows the Steelers need Watt in the fold. We'll see if that's the final deal they strike to complete their active offseason. The Pittsburgh Steelers are far from the only team dealing with a hefty contract negotiation heading into training camp. In Washington, the Commanders have stalled in talks with WR Terry McLaurin. With conversations halted, McLaurin decided to talk to the media instead. He didn't hold back his feelings either. "Without any progress in discussions, it's kind of hard to see how I step on the field," he told reporters via ESPN after filming an off-season commercial. McLaurin has watched several other wide receivers, including the Pittsburgh Steelers' DK Metcalf and, most recently, the New York Jets' Garrett Wilson, get paid this year. McLaurin has been angling for a long-term deal since last offseason and played a key role in the franchise's 2024 turnaround. He recorded his sixth straight 1,000-yard season and set a career high with 13 touchdowns. His success translated into the playoffs, finding the end zone in all three of the Commanders' games. After signing a 2022 extension, McLaurin's deal voids after 2025. He's fallen to be just the 17th highest-paid receiver in football. Without a deal, trade rumors have naturally sparked. Pittsburgh could use a clear-cut number 2 receiver, and adding McLaurin is the seismic move the Steelers have been routinely making this offseason. But McLaurin doesn't want out of Washington. "I want to be here," he said. "I want to make that abundantly clear." His desire to stay with the Commanders and his desire for a new contract are competing factors. Former Miami Dolphins tight end Jonnu Smith didn't want to leave either until he realized a new deal wasn't coming. That shipped him to Pittsburgh with an extension in hand. The same logic could apply to McLaurin, leaving the possibility of a trade on the table. Still, that comes with its own complicating factors. McLaurin is in search of a big money deal, likely in the $30 million per year vicinity. Such a figure matches his age, and for a receiver who wins with speed, paying him comes with the risk of diminishing returns. Pittsburgh's already sunk big money in Metcalf, and while the math could support McLaurin's deal, too, the Steelers might be done making those high-end deals for one offseason. The Steelers are also keeping their 2026 draft capital powder dry, carefully adding future picks while being sure not to give them away in the Fitzpatrick deal. Instead of sending next year's selections to Miami, Pittsburgh traded FS Minkah Fitzpatrick and 2027 capital instead. The lesson of this offseason is that the Steelers are capable of providing the unexpected. But a deal with McLaurin might be a bridge too far, and for the moment, McLaurin just wants a new contract, not a new team.